All righty, Kenny, thank you for coming in this afternoon. Today, just want to review some of the pre-formal observations, our Addendum H, as well as our Addendum G agreements that we have with the district regarding observation. I appreciate you filling out the pre-formal observation plan, and I've reviewed this immediately. But before we get into Addendum H, I just also want to point out Addendum G's that you filled out at the beginning of the year, and part of the goals that you've established have to do with our CSTPs, and you've picked up Standard 1, which is engaging, supporting all student learning. So part of your observation is going to be focused on that. So I just wanted to review that with you first, that is the CSTP that we're going to be focusing on with your observation.
Okay.
And again, what I'm looking for, and I use this more as a tool for growth, not as a tool to create negativity mindsets or any kind of negative feedback. My focus with using your goals and also your pre-formal observation is how we can coach you for growth, to be a better teacher, meaning that you are in your first year. So one thing that you've provided for me is your pre-formal observation plan and how we're going to engage and support all student learning. What are some of the things that I should look for when I'm going to be observing you?
So when you come in, you'll see kids kind of understand the rules and operations of the classroom, as well as you'll see a lot of them conversing with each other about different topics, and we rotate around in different groups and kind of get them to see different points of views on different subjects. So there's a whole lot of them intertwining their thoughts, and in that way they can see different points of views as well as review their own points of views and try to explain those things to other students. So I think it gets them to that deeper learning.
Okay. Now, in particular, with your lesson plan that we have coming up, you stated that you're going to be focusing on how students will understand their personal skills development and how that affects their employability.
Mm-hmm.
How am I going to be able to witness that? What are your plans, and how am I going to be able to see that?
Those types of things. So in this lesson plan, we're going over resumes and how to build a resume and what a good resume looks like. So not only are they reviewing those different things, I have an article for them that they're kind of going to decide whether or not this is a good article or this is a good way to write a resume. It's called the best resume there can be, or whatever. I can't remember what the article's called, but and then they're taking that information and then they're going to try to apply it into their own, and that's called getting them ready for employability. So at the end of this class, they have a resume built, they have a portfolio built that they can give to an employer and say, I'm ready for an entry-level job into healthcare.
Okay, perfect, good. It sounds good. And again, reading over your pre-formal observation plan here, I understand you have some prior activities that they've done, something called telephone game that they've done already, and also practice an active listening while having some collaborative discussions with each other. That's what I visualized from what you said here.
Yes.
Some things that I'm going to want to see regarding my visit is exactly what you have described here. I'm going to want to see that engaging, that interaction of student to student, where as well as teacher or educator to student nonstop. Having the kids engage completely, not so much being pulled away. At the same token, being the way your class is designed, having that interaction, making sure that they do have the proper skills to be employable, and having that social aspects or intercommunication skills, not only with verbalizing, but body language is going to be essential. Those are the things I'm going to be looking for. How much you're also movement in your classroom, not from a stationary position, but more engagement, because a teacher can be standing in front of the room and kids are sitting and watching. To me, that's not engaging. Having that common interaction with them where you may have small groups here or another small group over there. That's going to be the more engagement where you can then jigsaw or jump around to interact with them. And sure, for one, it benefits classroom management. Two, it also makes the importance to the students because they see that you're actively involved. Mm-hmm. And that's, of course, always key to student learning. So now you say here, students will read an article on features of a great resume. Now, is that something that they're going online to provide, or is that?
I've pulled it offline from, I think, the New York Times. I pulled it offline and I printed each student a copy, and they're supposed to read it, and they'll like annotate their notes next to it and stuff that they like, stuff that they didn't like, and then they'll share with each other, and then we'll talk about it as a group.
So is there going to be an area of silent sustained reading, or is it going to be a collective reading together?
No,
or someone reads out loud?
They're going to read it themselves and annotate their notes and then compare with their partners and then compare with somebody else, and then we come together and we all decide whether or not this article is worthy of a good resume.
Oh, that's great, because again, focusing on your CSCP, that engaging is going to be crucial to your lesson. It seems to be. And then I like here how you've talked about how your lesson is going to be successful is that your students are going to complete 3 question exit tickets. How does that work?
So at the end of the deal, I give them 3 basic questions of what we've covered for the day, and they answer it and they give it to me as they walk out the door. That's their exit ticket to lunch, basically. That way they're reflecting on the lesson and really trying to let all that information sink in. Because, sometimes you goes one ear out the other. So at the end of the class, just have them reflect on what we've learned today. And that's kind of my way of checking, if I go through those things, I'm thinking, okay, well, they really didn't get it. I know then tomorrow, then I maybe need to re-go over the stuff,
That's great, because checking for understanding is going to be vital too. Of course, you're moving forward and them ensuring that they have grasps of the knowledge or the instruction that you provided. So I look forward to this. Again, I think this is a great lesson that you've designed, and I'll see you tomorrow, and we'll knock this thing out.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Kenny.
Appreciate it.